Amir, you're like
Yeah.
fake hard. Like you're actually a soft. You hit
What?
record on that
Oh yeah, I hit record. Welcome back, guys, to the cousin.
connection. You never gave
Oh
me a
yeah,
warning.
shout out to 13 Sons. New spot opened
Oh
up.
yeah.
locally.
It was so cute in there.
Ethiopian spot. We walked in and there was literally like a class going on
Yeah,
for teaching people Amharic.
that's
Mhm.
cute.
Yeah, they're going through the alphabet. I knew nothing about the alphabet. All
The
I heard
gaze.
was se, fe, I don't know the letters. Okay, maybe I should go and learn.
Mhm.
Maybe you
It's
should.
a free
Yeah.
class every week.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Every
Yeah.
Sunday.
Well, because we walked in and it looked like it was like a private event, so I was like, "Are we allowed in here?" And she's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah. Are you guys?" Like,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Oh yeah. This just happens every Sunday."
Oh, that's kind of
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's cute.
So yeah, if you're Ethiopian and you need to brush up on your Amharic or you don't know any Amharic at all, they're starting from the alphabet, so you can check it out. 13.
And I don't like it at a restaurant,
Oh my god, I saw your story
but with
about
matcha,
that.
like I have to. I'm sorry. Like if I'm paying $7 to $10 for a matcha and it sucks,
dollars. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know we
crazy.
paid like $7 here, but still.
yeah.
I saw this on a friend's story, and she said the strawberry matcha was 12 out of 10. So when I
It is very.
got her
You
from
didn't
the
you didn't mix
airport,
it though.
the straw is so weak.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
I had to switch to a plastic one.
That
There was
one
I found
left me. Breaking the news
They
here.
just-
That was a weird pivot.
no.
Amir's in his fields.
I'm playing.
Okay, guys.
No, really, she left for some time so she can actually bring the rest of her stuff.
yeah.
So I'm single again. I'm playing. But what I was saying,
You're so sick.
what I was gonna say is that actually for my birthday, which actually also happened, we were looking for
32.
Hey, you don't have to say numbers, okay? I'm not one to reveal my age.
Well.
But in the process of trying to like put together something for my birthday, she was looking for utensils. And apparently in like 2023, last year, they came out with a law where they can't sell plastic utensils anymore.
Where have
Yeah,
you been?
I actually no, I didn't know. I mean,
I didn't know that
had been
either.
gone.
Yeah, okay, yes,
So that's
you.
acceptable.
But like,
When am I
We-
ever going out to buy plastic utensils?
what do you mean? Every time we have something and we go out, like, did you not realize that all they have are those stupid wooden compostable forks and stuff?
I noticed it, but I thought it was like, how like stores are slowly switching to like
Oh.
the paper straws, like the ones you guys
Yeah.
are struggling with right now.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that it was official. Like you can't even get it in stores.
Yeah,
I wish they at
remember
least
that.
did like those biodegradable, like
Yes.
avocado seed. Like they kind of feel like plastic, but it's
Yeah.
actually still sustainable. I feel like that's more sustainable than wood, low key,
Mhm.
because it
Some-
it melts.
Some restaurants
Have those?
Have those.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, because and even in all of the stores, I'm like, there's no plastic. But you have to pay 35 cents. Stuff doesn't bother me as much. It's just like if you
Nah.
don't live
No,
here,
if
it's
you
kinda
come from an
annoying.
ethnic household, our
Yeah,
moms will
for sure.
use those bags to death.
Exactly. That's
That's
the
very
thing.
true.
We recycled them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually did. Everyone did.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
reuse them for like the garbage cans.
Yeah, but you don't care about the paying for the bag thing until you forget your bag at home.
The reusable
Or,
bags.
or you're
right?
just like tired that day and you forget it in the car and you're like, I don't want to go all the way to the car
Mm-hmm.
to get another bag, and then you end up with like a closet full of paper bags. Like not paper, yeah,
They're
paper
like
bags
felt.
or like felt bags.
They're like felt.
Is
yeah.
that what that? Yeah, that
Yeah,
whatever
it's
that
like-
material is.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if that creates more waste because people just end up collecting so many of them.
I
have
feel
like
like it
5.
would low key because it's
Mhm.
like, what if people just throw that out now?
Yeah, like does that biodegrade?
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't know.
How do you
It's felt.
dispose of them?
I have no idea.
felt. I'm sure it is probably recyclable in some way, right? The wood ones make sense. The wood one makes sense for sure because that one you can just throw it and it'll. I don't know.
But I thought you
it'll
could
grow a
recycle
stick tree. I don't know what
plastic.
it grows.
What did you
It'll like turn into
Stick
dirt and
tree.
turn into street.
Amir.
No.
Come on now.
It was an inside thing. It was from a couple days ago. We bought some ice cream. I stuck it in the ground. I said it's gonna turn into a popsicle stick tree. You guys don't know.
Your
okay?
own inside joke?
Yeah,
It doesn't work like that.
I know, but I didn't. I realized you guys aren't in on it. Okay.
Amir
My
has
wife and I
inside
already have
jokes.
inside jokes. Okay, that's what it is.
So excited to say that. Amir became that guy.
But what was the point I was driving at? I completely forgot. I was talking about something.
We were just talking about the restaurant and how it had paper straws, and we were annoyed by it. That's a negative one actually from the
Yeah.
matcha.
Yeah.
But no, the actual matcha is fire.
Oh, I
But
broke
yeah.
the straw. I can't drink this anymore.
Ah,
See, that's the thing. Like,
you can borrow
at
mine
least
when I'm
make a
done.
straw
Literally.
that's useful.
Yeah, plastic, but they're biodegradable. Like the ones that have some texture to it.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love those.
ones. They're
though.
like avocado seed.
I haven't seen those yet, but
They have them in like.
They have those in California.
stuff, I'm like, ooh, they have the plastic
Yeah.
ones, like the fake
That
plastic.
makes
But that's the
sense.
thing also about the plastic utensils. Apparently, it's so it's about where you go.
Or they might just have like stock, like bulk inventory for plastic utensils that they bought before they went out of stock. Maybe.
Yeah, that could be a thing too.
Potentially.
Yeah,
be
I don't
that.
know how it works.
But I'm sure there's some places that have to sell them, right?
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like it's
Have you ever tried having a salad with a wooden fork?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's
actually
literally,
crazy.
I'd rather just eat with my hands.
And it's,
Yeah.
sorry, I know we keep talking about forks and spoons here,
Give me some
guys. The
chopsticks.
most like basic
At
stuff.
this point, just walk around with chopsticks.
I actually
real.
had a spare in my bag.
But the thing is, the forks are basically spoons because
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
those little ridges. It looks like, think of like Bart Simpson's hair. That's how short. Does it not remind you of that?
Yeah, it doesn't really have much of like a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
you
So,
have to scoop. It's a spork.
yeah, pretty much it's a
Essentially.
spork. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's useful. It's useless
I know.
at that point.
But
yeah,
anyways,
we're done. We're done with talking about that stuff.
We have
Okay.
a reoccurring guest, if you guys haven't already
Yeah.
noticed.
Hello. It's been a while though.
It has been
I
a
I
while.
feel like I haven't been back since like
Was
Eid,
it?
like the first Eid.
Oh,
Eid
yeah.
al-Fitr.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the
What's
last time I
changed
was in
since
Toronto.
then, Aisha? What's new?
Couple things.
Just a couple things.
Yeah.
I moved into we moved into a new LA apartment, so we're no longer in downtown.
I
Which
missed that
I
place
know
already.
the downtown era has ended. Honestly, I
Mhm.
loved living downtown until I
Yeah.
didn't.
Mhm.
Like it was
Fair.
great until we were finally like, okay, I think it's time to look for another place, and then suddenly everything about downtown started to annoy me.
Really?
Getting
Like-
harassed by like.
I mean,
homeless people.
I didn't really get harassed that much. It would happen occasionally, not really harassed, but just like homeless people would like just yell things.
Yeah.
Which is like I was used to it. But for me it was the stench.
Mm.
Yeah.
It
okay.
was trying to avoid poop everywhere.
I used to think you were exaggerating until we
yeah.
came that day. And
It's
Mhm.
bad.
you know when we went for a walk in the morning?
Yeah.
And she literally warned us. She's like, just don't make eye contact with anyone. I'm like,
Town is
That's
a little
good. And Cabbage
scary.
Town is a part of Toronto.
yeah.
Yeah, if you are from there.
I mean, I feel like the areas I took you guys were fine.
yeah.
Mhm.
It can get a
wasn't-
little scarier towards Skid Row, which Skid Row I lived like maybe 4 or 5 blocks away from, so it wasn't too like I could see it from my apartment,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I wasn't like in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like everything started to annoy me with downtown, and I was just kind of like, you know what? I think we need something else. So we
Mhm.
found like a really nice townhouse in like a very low key area, very
Mhm.
quiet, really cute. Like it's more like residential, so it kind of feels like a suburb vibe, even though it's
Yeah.
still kind of in like the city of LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can like walk around and like it's just nice. Honestly, everything about it, like it's quiet. We don't even hear sirens. Like it's just it's amazing. The first like week was like really funny because it was almost too quiet. We were like, "Where's it?" And then like any creak we'd hear in the house, we'd be like,
What is that?
"Yeah," because like our other place, like even though we were in downtown, which is like one of the most dangerous places to live in LA,
Yeah.
we were on the 32nd floor. I can say that
True.
and walk up, but it's a safe area, alhamdulillah.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's what else happened after that? Oh my god.
Okay, there we go. I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, you went to Turkey. But get to the point.
Yes, I launched my first product. I brought it here actually.
wait. Which one is this, Sarah?
It's the bottom one.
Nope.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Favorite brand ever. I have been such a rider for this brand for like 3. I think they launched in 2021. And I just like instantly fell in love with the formulas. And then when I found out like the owner was also Muslim, she's from Senegal, I was just like, oh my God, I love this brand even more. And I would always tell them about it, but
Yep.
like they could never try it. So like I would like anytime they would come over or I would
Yep.
come over, I'd like bring a few things. But
Yeah.
they are actually available in Canada now, which is exciting.
Finally.
Yeah, they're at Sephora Canada.
I saw the comments. Being
yeah.
Like, girl,
And yeah, it was a really cool project. We've been working on it for like a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the story was like I went to New York last summer and the owner Jara, she lives in New York, so I was like, oh, let's grab lunch. So we were like hanging out. It was our first time hanging out. Everything was really cool. And then towards the end of it, I just kind of like pitched her the idea. I was like, do you wanna, I was like, I have something to ask you. She's like, yeah, what's up? I was like, what do you think about a collaboration?
Yeah.
And I just like was waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
So before I could even pull it up, she's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I was like, "What?"
She seems like a really cool vibe, though.
She's really cool. She's like
Yeah.
kind of around our age. She's like in her young or like early to mid 30s. And then actually she just had a daughter, so she named her daughter Ami.
Stop.
And it's so cute.
That's very cute.
I know, it's
That's
so cute. I'm assuming. Yeah, so we worked on it for like a year after that. It was a really interesting process because I've never like done anything like that.
Yeah.
So basically like my management team took over like all the negotiations of like how much the fees would be and like all of that kind of stuff. And then like in December is when they asked like what colors and stuff I wanted to do. I initially wanted to do a few more products, but we decided on just like the lip oil at first. And then I got to like share exactly like what kind of color I wanted. So I showed them the full mood board, and then they like sent over a few lab samples. And then I kind of like mixed it all up to like see what I liked. And then I sent all my feedback back. That was in December. And then they sent a second round of lab samples in February.
Yeah.
So I had to like, try it out. I tried on a couple different people to like see what color I wanted. I knew I wanted a peachy nude. And then, we decided on a color. And then a few months later, we had our photo shoot in New York, which was in May. And from the beginning, I knew I wanted to incorporate some sort of Hariri element into it because one thing that I actually really appreciate about Ami Kole is they like really full force, like, they're very proud of their Senegalese culture and like in a lot of their packaging and in their like imagery. They've shot campaigns in Senegal as well for some of their products,
really cool.
And the names of some of their products are like named after things in Senegal.
I'm
like
obsessed with it.
Yeah,
Loved it.
I know. And for like the campaign shoots, like they made sure to have like mot there and everything. So we
Yeah.
brought some from LA. And it was just really cool. It was like such a cool experience. I'm glad that like I got to incorporate some of my culture into it too. And it's available now at Sephora Canada or on amicole.com and also just Sephora US. Inshallah, hopefully one day in stores. That would be amazing.
I know.
That'd be amazing. But yeah, it's been out for like a month now and it's been doing really, really well. They said it was like their best black-owned brand is really cool too. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to.
Only took you 8 years to actually finally come out
I
with something.
know.
Wait, how long has it been on YouTube?
13 years, but I was
13
16.
years?
Yeah,
Has it been
2011.
Damn. I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Started right here. Is where I feel actually this exact place. Yeah, but yeah, I'm really proud of it. And if you guys haven't tried it yet, make sure to shop Happy. And yeah, that's kind of what was new. I went to Turkey. It's been a good summer, honestly.
Yeah, you came out with a new
I know.
lip gloss. Is it? What do you call lip gloss?
It's a lip oil. Yeah.
Lip oil.
Yeah.
What's the difference between lip gloss and lip oil?
It's in it. So it's like there's like shea butter. There's like ingredients that actually help nourish your lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Should we ask you what your reactions were to me getting married? I don't know what I feel like
You never
what
got
is
her
it from your
thoughts?
perspective? Yeah, I don't think did I get your thoughts on that?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Well, you told me about Hanan like
Early.
it was like I
So
think
it
it was
wasn't much-
October,
yeah.
but I wasn't sure if like it was still continuing or not. I think I was asking Sarah. She's like, yeah, I think he's still talking to her. It was kind of like, yeah. And then when I came in October, I think that's when you're like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking to this girl, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
Oh,
let
yeah,
me meet
I forgot
her.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was very
Yeah.
early on. I think it was like a couple months in trip, but I was like, oh, like give me her number. I'll you know, scope her out.
The one that we went to further.
It wasn't
Oh.
that exact one. It might have been the same brand, or it
Yeah.
was called like Haraz, or I don't know. It was one of them. But we went and we were there for like maybe like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and just like talking, catching up.
Yeah.
You know, I was letting her know all the nitty gritty details of
Yeah.
Amir to make sure she was ready. I'm just kidding. We were just like catching up, and she was telling me actually the same story she told on the podcast about like following the tutorial and stuff.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like I was following like your exact tutorial for like a wedding that I went to.
That's cute.
She was telling me all
Oh, yeah.
that.
So you knew pretty early on. That's why.
Yeah. I was happy. I mean, I
What were
feel
your
like
thoughts like day of? I mean, I know we
Oh.
placed bets where like Amir's definitely gonna cry.
I knew Amir was gonna cry.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Amir, you're like
Yeah.
fake hard. Like you're actually a soft.
No, but I knew what type of cry it was gonna be. Too.
Yeah,
It was gonna be the like I'm uncomfortable, but I can't hold this back. So he was like laugh crying, and he was like, like he was trying to play it off, right? Where you're trying not to, but it just comes out anyways. I knew exactly. I knew.
It's not true. It's,
Yeah, we know you too well. Like,
Yeah, I think like, I mean, yeah, I didn't have any like kind of crazy reaction. I feel like it was kind of like a finally moment. Like anytime someone was asking, I'm like, I know, finally. But I think also like I'm glad you took your
Yeah.
and I think like you truly were ready.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like you weren't doing anything too early or too late. Like I think it was truly like the best time for you.
yeah.
So emotions were enough for
Oh
both of
yeah.
us.
Oh yeah. she
Honestly,
was.
I was like, I was more scared. I know exactly the moment you're talking about. I was like getting emotional. Then it's like, you know, someone
She took over. We both at one point we were like, oh, like we were like kind of tearing up, but not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And then we just look at your mom, and she's like, "Uh-oh, mama."
I was concerned.
I actually looked over. I saw her hands in like her face.
No,
No,
she was
I'm
like
here.
hyperventilating.
No way.
Like we were scared. I was like, "Someone get us a tissue," and I was like fanning her. I didn't know what
Oh
to
my
do.
God.
I did not see that.
No,
part.
she was like, so
was
basically,
cute,
right when it
though.
happened, she's like,
Yeah.
and she was doing the thing where she can't like breathe at all.
Yeah.
Literally crying. So I think like that took over the emotion for me. I was
Yeah.
more like,
Yeah.
yo, chill.
Yeah. I was like,
I love you, man.
shoot, she
I
having a
love you.
panic
Yeah.
attack.
You know, mothers and their sons.
I know.
Exactly.
I'm like,
What?
she never let out a
Sad
single
eye.
tear
I know.
What?
for either of mine.
She was working hard. Okay, she was putting it together.
Don't
That's
kill
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that made me cry.
But
from laughing.
yeah, it was very sweet. It
yeah,
was,
I think
it
also
was
because
nice.
the fact that she didn't have to put anything together, like she didn't have to organize too much,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
it lets you fully be
She
in the
wasn't-
moment.
I mean, she still
stressed at all,
organized a
but-
lot.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
like
yeah,
like
like
you know,
pre-
on our end, because
Yeah,
there's obviously
exactly.
like with Haredi traditions, like the family brings gifts and stuff. So she was doing stuff like that. But yeah, day of, she didn't really have to like
yeah,
take any.
I feel like
take
you guys took over a lot of that stuff.
Honestly, I just showed up.
Yeah.
She did most of it.
Yeah, I did a lot of like the wrapping of all the like cookies and whatnot.
Mhm.
That was done like beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But family kind of took over that as well. There was a lot of
Yeah.
family like in Dallas kind of helping with that.
Honestly, this nikah was like the least stress.
Yeah,
We've ever been.
I wasn't really like.
That's how I roll.
I mean,
man.
honestly,
It wasn't you. Shout out to Hanan.
Yeah, I think Hanan's family honestly
Yeah.
just like
Mhm.
They
took care of
took over.
no,
everything.
she's definitely like a super planner. Like she
Yeah.
like gets
Mhm.
everything down to the details.
Mhm.
Like
The food was really good.
Mhm.
Yep.
It was nice, honestly.
Yeah.
it worked out
Yeah.
perfectly. Alhamdulillah.
It was slightly overwhelming, just like
Yeah.
There were a lot of people.
people.
I didn't think it was gonna. I think that's why I didn't get emotional. Was because
Yeah.
I was like, "Whoa, it's a lot bigger."
It
than
was
I
a
thought
lot
it
of
was gonna
people.
be.
Yeah.
And you're probably approached by a lot of
A
people.
lot
too.
of people, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it was like that part was a little it was cool to meet all the people, but it was also like, yo, like I'm not this they're the ones getting married.
Yeah,
Go take
exactly.
photos with them. Oh,
Yeah.
man. But you know, it's always nice to like meet people.
Yeah, I forgot.
We had
to
a little
mention the
scuffle.
photo
With a few, but
No,
it's
you
okay.
didn't.
We don't need to get into it.
part.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
Not really a scuffle,
It was
but
a scuffle.
I don't know. Should I even talk about it? I don't
It
know.
was just a misunderstanding, I think.
It was okay. I want to actually say how I feel, but I don't want to. Ruffle any feathers.
Ruffle any feathers?
Yeah.
But let's just say, like, there was a slight tint of entitlement with some of the people.
Mm.
Yeah, that
Like-
made me uncomfortable.
It's like those classic like celebrity things where people will, like
Exactly.
feel like they not own you, but like we deserve.
Yeah, like you
moment.
owe them
Yeah, like you
like,
owe me
a certain
something.
reaction or like a certain amount of time or
Mhm.
just there was a lot of entitlement that made me kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah,
But you know, it is what it is. We move.
yeah, I feel like that's when you know when you know you're a celebrity.
No, but that makes me uncomfortable because it's like
yeah, of course, yeah, it makes any
I feel like
person
I
uncomfortable,
feel like
right?
a lot of people who meet me like
Mhm.
we're like really chill, like we're just talking,
Yeah.
we're like friends. Like I
Yeah.
feel like, well, I mean, obviously there's an aspect of like a parasocial relationship to it,
Mm-hmm.
but generally like most people are like very like respectful and like very cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they weren't, but there, like I said, there was just a little hint of entitlement in there. And let's just leave it at that. We'll keep it cute.
Yeah, but it's been a crazy, what is it, like month now?
Mhm.
Honestly, I don't know. Time has been so weird. Like remember we were talking about like routine and stuff. Like my
Yeah.
routine is completely thrown out now that like Hanan will be gone for like maybe a month or so. I might fall back into some of those routines, but it's gonna be in
Yeah.
a new area, so it might be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's getting adjusted to all that.
It's gonna take
do
a
it
while.
all over again when she comes back.
I know exactly.
I think though, like, I think it's actually good that there's a little bit of a break because now you can like settle into your like new life
Mhm.
and build those routines for yourself, and then she can just kind of like work into them, you know?
Yeah, and
Like you don't
and-
really have to shift that much when she's here. You just like, hey,
Mhm.
this is the time that I work out, or this is the time that I do this, and then
Yeah.
we'll just like shift everything else around it.
yeah, but I'm very much a person who's like, I want you to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Oh.
if I'm working out, you're coming out, you're coming with me, right?
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna do cardio, you're doing cardio with me. But it might be different because it's gonna be winter soon, right? And winter changes
Yeah.
everything too, like
Yeah.
where you go. But
true, too.
now that because our amenities are just so good at the place, like I don't really have to go far out
Yeah.
to get all the things I need. I just don't know what the area is going to be like in the winter, right? This
Hella
area, I know how
cold.
it is. Yeah, exactly. But I know it's going to be cold because
Yeah.
also right next to the lake. But you know, our house, this place isn't super far from the lake. I don't know how much of a difference that would be, right? But there are things that I'm still up in the air. I don't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
But
that's
the-
okay.
That's fun though.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As the time goes.
Yeah, I like the fact that everything is walkable. I don't know if I've already mentioned that in previous episodes. But
Yeah.
like, in our neighborhood, like they have. First off, why don't we have Rabas in the East End? Do you know what a Rabba is?
It's just the West End, like downtown /
Yeah,
West
it's a
End thing.
downtown / West End thing. Those things are like blessed because like they're open 24 hours,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, they
And-
are.
and there's one literally right outside of our condo area.
Is there?
So yeah,
Yeah, I remember
oh.
seeing it.
yeah, it's like right on the corner, right outside of it. So
Okay.
whenever we need something, you just go there, quickly get it. Like, oh, we ran out of like sour cream. That's an example of some recent example. You go there, 5 minutes, you're back with whatever you need, and they have like all the basics that you need, right? Even some
Yeah.
things that like you normally don't think a place would like that would have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been fun interesting getting adjusted to. And then my birthday was on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out perfectly. And remember, there's actually so these guys were trying to give me a surprise birthday thing.
Initially, yes, it was.
Initially, it was supposed to be, but like I'm there, like I can see her texting.
No,
like,
no, no,
I
no,
know
no.
what's gonna happen.
Oh,
I
you
actually
saw the
didn't-
messages?
I didn't think it was gonna be a surprise, so I feel like I kind of like ruined parts of it by accident.
But I kind of knew already that something was gonna happen. I think
Oh.
I think she immediately told me. Like I was like, oh, so are we doing something? And
So when I messaged you, I was like, "Oh, we should do something this weekend." You just played along.
but
When
maybe
I
I was
literally
thinking like
texted you
Saturday, Sunday. I
Friday.
can't remember now.
Oh, because that.
What did I say?
You're like, yeah. Like we'll do something on the weekend.
Oh yeah, I might have been just playing along at that point because I didn't know if you thought still that it was a surprise. So I was like, I don't want to ruin it for Sada.
Well, okay. This is initially when we were like the three of us were talking about
Yeah.
it. Did you see our messages come through?
One time I saw like I didn't see who was in the group, but I saw her
Yeah.
like texting people about it. I was like, oh, okay.
Damn it! It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she initially the plan was like we didn't know she was gonna drop you off at work and stuff. So we were
Mhm.
like, okay. I was like, just send him on a random errand. Like send him to
Yeah.
his mom's house, and that way we can all show up.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you come back, we'll all be there.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought was gonna happen.
Send me to my mom's house from where we are.
Yeah, we were gonna make up an
Yeah,
excuse.
mission.
Exactly, that's the point.
Oh, okay.
And then when I was messaging everyone to tell
Mhm.
them to come, I was like, especially to the boys, because I know how the boys
Mhm.
can be. I'm like, don't text Amir.
yeah.
It's not a surprise. And then the day of course, they were all calling me
Yeah.
like, how do I get into the place? I was like, it's not a surprise anymore. Just call me.
Yeah. It's fine though. I feel like
It worked out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it was like my birthday, of course, but it was also more like a housewarming thing.
a little bit.
'Cause,
Yeah.
like, that was the first time people were seeing my apartment, or you guys had already seen it.
It was my first time.
Oh
seeing
yeah, it
it.
was your first time seeing it, but
yeah,
and when you guys were last there, we didn't have anything, right?
not yet.
So exactly. So at least we had something there. We had somewhere
Yeah.
people sit,
Yeah,
and it worked out perfectly, right? Like everyone was there. We were chilling.
it was a nice vibe.
It was a nice vibe. Now it's just like we'll have a second house when we actually have stuff inside there in like
Yeah,
a year.
exactly.
Yeah.
once our lease is up, and we have to.
Then you're like, damn it, it wasn't as easy the first, or it wasn't like the first time you moved there, you didn't really have much. You're just packing up your clothes and
Yeah.
showing up.
Exactly. Yeah.
The next time you have to move, you're gonna hate your life.
I know. That's why I was always like thinking about, okay, like if we're packing this, how easy will it be get in and out of the place? Oh, what was that?
It's my phone.
Why does it sound?
Sorry.
I hear like a dog barking.
No, I don't know
There
what
was
that
something
was.
going outside.
Oh, okay.
Same
okay.
time.
At
Both
the
of them.
exact same moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Mhm.
weird.
Oh,
How does it feel to like finally be living on your own? Well, yeah, outside of the house.
that's the one thing I was gonna mention. When I was driving here, there are a couple things I already miss about Scarborough.
What do you
Mhm.
miss?
Like the fact that when you're where we live now, we are now the minorities again. Like POC wise.
Oh, yeah.
I had a
POC
feeling.
wise, we are now the minorities.
Mm.
So like it's weird. Just like because you also get used to the amount of the people around you, right? Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
there are people you've never interacted with, but you see them on the regular and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like now I'm in a foreign area where like I don't know anybody here. I don't know what the vibe of this place is.
Mm.
Like there's recently where I had like a Palestine shirt gifted to me, and I was wearing that, and I was like, wait, out here might be a little different, you know? And I don't know what the vibe is with these people around here, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
And like I think there was one point where I had a kafia like on the back of my car. Like just on the, so anyone could see it from the back window, and I was thinking like, you know, it might be a little more dangerous driving around here with this on. But no. You know
You
what?
have to be a little more hyper aware of your surroundings.
Exactly. But I was still, you know, holding out there. I didn't care. But out here, like, it's more multicultural. For you immediately
Yeah.
recognize it when
Yeah.
you especially when you're out of it for a long time,
Yeah.
or just even for a week.
Yeah.
You notice it immediately how you're no longer the minority. That's one thing,
Mhm.
but also just like. It's a different vibe. Everything seems a little bit slower out here. I don't know what it is.
Really? Oh, I guess.
Like there are more people on the streets,
Mm.
just because of the area we're in. We're
Yeah,
like
there's
in
a
the
lot of
middle.
people like walking
Yeah,
with their
exactly.
kids or riding bikes. It's just a lot of like movement. But
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I feel like
I
it's more
like
lively.
that too. Exactly, I like that too. Also, because now we're in a condo versus
A house.
interacting with neighbors,
That's
the
different.
highest like area of interaction would be in your elevator.
Yeah.
But the thing about our elevator is that I think in every time I've taken it, I've probably met someone like 5 to 10% of the time. It's always
Oh.
empty.
Do you want the
But that's because I'm also
Yeah.
in a place where it's like more elderly people. So that made me make sense.
Really?
Yeah. Like I've interacted with more people like at 6 a.m. in the morning than I have
Mm.
at 4:30. When you think that's like rush hour time, no one coming in and
Yeah.
out. It's like, oh, are you trying to, because you couldn't drink it this whole time so it got warm? It's not even going to taste the same.
No, it's still gonna be.
All the sweetness and
Well, you
everything
know
that was
why?
going to be
'Cause
inside of it.
The straw like broke in half
Ah,
because this part was like squished.
paper straw, guys. Paper straws.
F the turtles.
You F the turtles.
Turtles. Snapping turtle.
But yeah, I'm definitely feeling it.
But I feel like the lower part that you were showing me the first day I came
Mhm.
over. There's like people there during the day.
That's if you go there. Yeah, like
Yeah.
out here. Also, the one thing I miss is that you can't just like step outside and go outside. Like you have to go in an
Mm.
elevator, which thankfully our building like takes like 2 seconds to get down, so it's not that much of
Yeah.
a barrier.
It's quick.
But still, you know, it's different than being able to just step outside, right?
It's
Yeah.
also not like I noticed your place is not as scary. Like one of my biggest fears
Mm.
when I move out is like I'm terrified of elevators.
Mhm.
I think it's just like the
Really,
not like I'm not afraid of elevators getting stuck.
like interaction with people.
not even that. It's just like I just feel unsafe a lot of times.
Really?
Like every time we
Mm.
leave Nabat's place, if I'm there by myself, I'm like, I'm so scared. I have to go down all the way.
I
And,
never
like,
thought of I
Her
guess
parking
like
garage
that,
is like it's not creepy, but it's just like
Mhm.
when you're by yourself, like literally a serial killer could just pop up
Yeah.
anywhere.
Oh.
Thankfully, the security in our place is amazing.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, they're so
They're
nice.
on
yeah,
it. Mhm.
exactly.
And they always say like hi and stuff.
Yeah, and they're always there. Like there's someone there 24/7.
Yeah.
And they have cameras everywhere, right? They have in the elevator, they have in
Yeah.
the hallways. So you at least know that someone is watching at some point, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
I always feel the opposite. I feel like safer in apartments than I do like in
Really?
houses. I'm like anyone can just walk up to your window.
Yeah, like she mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, but like
Like in an apartment, it's actually really hard to like.
actually, speaking of,
What?
remember the story I told you at your house on Friday? About what happened to my dad at my house?
No.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was
Oh,
listening.
yeah.
I was sleeping, but
Yeah.
I was listening.
Yeah, like so. Okay, now I'm just proving your point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But basically, this was last weekend, and I was taking a nap,
Mhm.
but I was still like I could still hear, right?
Mhm.
So all of a sudden, and it's just my dad home. My mom wasn't home, and I hear like yo yo yo, but it was like a voice I didn't recognize. So I'm like, who the f is that? So I'm like, who's at my door? But I heard the voice like in the house. So I'm like, who the hell is that? So I quickly like pull up my phone and I pull up the Ring camera to
Mhm.
see like
Mhm.
can I see who that was? And I can see like a body, but like I didn't see his face yet, right? And then I hear my dad saying like, "You got the wrong house, buddy," and then he's like, "What?" Then I hear them like laughing, and then they're talking about like how the houses on the street all look the same,
Mhm.
and then I see the man with my I think it was like my Sephora package with the lip gloss.
Oh my god.
He had it in his hand to like give to the whoever he thought he
Oh
was
my
going to
God.
visit.
Mhm.
And then he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was supposed to go to like X number house, and I ended up coming in here." He's like, "Literally, they look the same. They don't. They look very different."
And that's where I was telling Sarah, there's no way this guy's just a contractor. This
yeah,
guy-
he was allegedly a
this guy-
contractor.
This guy was coming for a booty call, bro.
In the middle of the day?
Yeah.
That's
you know,
crazy.
You know why I said that? Because who's familiar enough? Which contractor is familiar enough to walk into the house saying, yo, 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 and also carrying the package that you just got delivered? Usually if a contractor comes, first thing they do is knock on the door
Right.
and like, you know, say what they're there for. Nobody just walks into a house says, yo, 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 with their package in hand.
Yeah.
And I
Right?
know the house that he was trying to go to.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the yo 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 type,
Mm,
but the
see?
one their neighbors are.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
It's so
Mhm.
random.
a little sus.
Exactly. So anyone could just walk in your house if you live in a house.
Granted, my mom left the door unlocked, so that's her fault, really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But to give the like 1 point to the apartment thing, or maybe a negative point to the apartment thing, we had another story of one of our other cousins, Anwar, who mentioned that there are multiple instances where he'll get to he'll go to his apartment,
God, yeah.
and sometimes he won't see or he won't check which number floor he's getting off at. And he'll get off and he'll walk to the exact same place where his door
Yeah.
is and try and open the door and
I've
start
done
like
that.
putting his keys in it.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
But he's done like multiple times.
Wait, Anwar moved out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he has 2 cats.
what?
Yeah.
He took both?
No,
no,
he
he
got
Bought
2
his
cats.
own cats?
He
Or
has
took
like
the other one.
the gray one, and then he
Okay,
got
okay,
another
okay.
kid.
Oh, did he
Wow.
take the gray one?
Yeah, Bella.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he has another
Wow.
Cheeto or Bruce, or he has 2 names. I don't know. But this little orange
What?
cat.
He moved
Yeah.
out? That's crazy.
I know,
But
but
he
Yeah,
does that.
I've done that before.
See, so that's another
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I've
how if
done
you're
that
in the house,
before.
you just hear someone like trying to get in with their keys?
Yeah,
or
when
whatever.
I lived
he-
in Koreatown, I went
Oh my
and I was
God.
like, why is this door not opening?
Mhm.
And I feel like I heard someone be like, huh? And I was like, and I look at the number, I was like, oh shoot.
oh
Mhm.
my god.
And what's
on the
what's
wrong
scarier? What's scarier? Like someone trying that and
Yeah.
immediately running away to go to the mirror.
He's done
And
that.
like you're looking at your like your hole in the mirror and you see someone running.
Didn't that happen?
Huh?
Remember that time when we visited you in 2020, and there was like a house party or something? Maybe this is like a dream.
What?
But I'm not even joking. There was a house party, and then people were trying to get into your apartment, and we were watching them through the peephole. Don't you remember?
I
And they were so loud.
I think I remember that, but also I've had someone walk into my place,
See?
which was actually scary because
Oh my God.
they had a dog, and I think my mom was there, and it was a big dog too.
I know she's
So all of a sudden, there's this big dog just like walking
Oh
into
my
our
Oh,
house,
there's no
God.
leash, right?
no leash.
Oh shoot!
And then he's like walking in, and I was like, "Excuse me." He was confused, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Oh my
So he
god!
went out. I
So-
don't remember like
my
the
God.
context of what was going on or why my door. Maybe I was about to throw out the
Mhm.
garbage or something. So yeah, it does
Maybe.
happen a lot actually.
Yeah. But at least
Yeah.
you know they're sort of vetted because they are in your
Yeah,
apartment building.
exactly.
But then again, anyone can have an apartment.
yeah,
So,
yeah, you do have to just make sure it's locked.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So we just destroyed both.
Yeah.
Either way, lock them doors. People.
exactly. But they
Yeah.
lock them doors and
Burn
keep
the
them
lights
lights
down
down low.
But yeah, living away from the house now or moving out of the house. Oh my God, why did I say it like that?
What's one thing that you miss, and one thing that you've learned since being out?
one thing I miss? Well, those things I mentioned that I miss,
Mhm.
like the fact that I can just step out of the house.
No, like being at home in this home. You don't
being-
miss anything about being in this home?
You know, having your parents there definitely is a big thing. Like being in the house specifically itself, I could live the way that I lived here in the apartment the exact same. I didn't
Yeah.
really need much,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
There are actually things that are perks of the building,
Mm-hmm.
like having those amenities, like the full gym, and I don't even use it yet, but the pool or like the
Mhm.
access to like a walkable park are positives, right?
Yeah.
But the main thing that I miss here is like, of course, having the family there, but also things outside. Like, I know I just mentioned things outside, but like, you know, seeing people on the streets,
I was gonna say
more neighborhood vibe.
you're like the whole strip of food that you have.
What strip of food?
Like it's like
Oh,
5,
yeah,
10
I
minutes
forgot to
away.
mention
It's like your
that.
favorite
Oh.
spot.
The biggest, one of the
Adonis.
biggest things.
Mm-hmm.
We have an Adonis like
halal
sort
food
of
option.
Oh, really?
basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like 10 minutes down the street.
oh, that's not bad.
The thing that's actually, I don't know if this gives away where I am, but a big positive is that I'm not far from like Sherway Gardens, the mall, and it maybe even a little bit further away is like Square One. So I have 2 big malls near me, and across the street from that mall is a lot of like food places, like there's Walmart, Best Buy, your basic
Okay,
spots.
so you still kind of have that.
Yeah, I have all of those. There's like a Nando's there too.
Okay.
If I wanted like some quick healthy eats or whatever.
That's the thing though. Toronto like is depending. Actually, no matter where you live, it's built very well.
Yeah.
Like there's always some sort of like something walkable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are certain
I would
spots
say
where it
aside
can
from
be
where you live,
desert.
actually.
Yeah,
Now
like
that I
her-
think about it,
if you live
Not-
outside of the GTA, like outside of the highways, basically,
I guess.
like outside of the.
No, I'm on the 401.
Hmm?
I'm on the 401. You know
you're
what?
right outside of it though.
What do you mean?
You're above it. Anything below the highway, I feel like it has a lot of like
the urban planning
places
is
that
really
are close
good.
to it. Yeah, the urban planning is a little bit better.
Yeah, like the closest, like the Walmart, technically I could walk to it,
Yeah.
like a
To run
fast
an errand.
walk.
Nah,
Yeah,
you'd be sprinting to get there. in
Yeah,
that
maybe a
time.
bike. A bike, yeah.
yeah.
It's a way. So the one thing is we really lucked out in the area.
Yeah.
So those
Yeah,
are
you're
big
in a great
positives.
area.
The only thing though is that because I mentioned the whole minority thing, it's a lot more Laranjach over there.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many halal options,
Yeah.
right? Like the halal options are very limited.
Yeah.
So that having this area right up the street from here is definitely like something I miss.
Yeah.
Being able
But
to
I
just
mean-
get whatever.
Worst case scenario, I was gonna say, since we still come here to film,
Oh yeah,
you could
exactly.
just buy your chicken and stuff.
Much before, I think it went out twice a week max.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that will usually on the weekend, and usually on the weekend I'll be on the east side anyway, so it might still be the same, honestly. I'll be
That's
just
true.
less tempted to do it during the week if I ever do get that hungering or that hankering
Hungry.
Craving.
Hankering works too, does it not?
Hankering?
I don't
Yeah,
think
like
that's
you have a
word.
hankering for something. Come on.
Literally, it says hanging.
No,
Did you mean-
hankering,
Oh.
like hankering. Let me see. Come on.
Oh.
It is a
strong
word.
Desire to have to do something.
What?
A strong desire to have to do or do
Oh.
something.
I know English, y'all. It's them. Okay.
It's just not a commonly used word. It doesn't mean anything.
I just noticed the ice.
Oh yeah, it's the ghetto film.
Way to cool it down, okay?
That's the
So hot in
funniest thing I've
here.
ever seen.
I think they've seen. I don't know if I've cut it out all the time, but there are a couple times where the ice pack falls off.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
like
Yeah,
it'll just
so-
flip and then the whole camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Not
good.
yet.
Yeah, not yet, exactly.
That's why there's
This
a
one's a
Ziploc
little
bag
different.
though.
But
Yeah.
like the condensation.
No,
on the
this
bag.
Ziploc bag is not the one I normally use. The one I normally use is a lot bigger and thicker, so it doesn't have that much
No.
condensation. I just couldn't find it, so I had to use this today.
Mm.
So we'll see how it does. We'll see how it does.
Everyone keeps
Okay.
telling us to get a fan. We're working on it. We're looking for
Yeah.
a silent fan so it doesn't impact.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the
sound
filming.
quality.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we'll see.
That's
Because
true.
even the wind itself can affect the audio. Even though we're not using the audio from the cameras,
Mm.
it helps with syncing and all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What Amir said. Personally, I was like, I thought these mics were good. They wouldn't pick up a fan, but then I got what you meant. It's
Mhm.
because you're talking about that.
Exactly. Yeah. What is that?
Someone's
Oh,
doing
God.
some kind
If
of.
it went any longer, I was gonna start
Mhm.
making a beat, and I was gonna be like,
Renovation.
black people always make a beat out of anything.
Nah, I can't.
That's not
He's not
really-
going. He's not
no.
going with it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't doing it in sync.
Let's get back into the actual topics you want to talk about.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, this was something I sent to Amir
Mm-hmm.
during the week. I don't know if you saw it, but there was that Somali guy who was in Quebec
Mhm.
who was getting arrested by the police, and I think it was Quebec City.
Yeah, it was.
Let
It
me
was.
look it
It was
up.
definitely in Quebec. I know that because the guy. He was like a Somali guy, and
But police
But I felt
brutality exists.
What
here, too.
happened?
why did they stop him again? Did it say?
It was Labor Day weekend. He claims that he was racially profiled.
Read it with some passion.
Okay.
Read it like a news anchor.
Okay, 1 second. Let me get the story.
Read it like you mean it.
I'm finding.
Read
the
it like it's
story.
breaking news.
I'm here.
Oh.
I don't know how to. I'm gonna butcher this. Anyways, police in Laval, I was gonna say Quebec, say officers were following protocol after videos surfaced of police violently arresting a tourist from Toronto over Labor Day weekend. Guled Omar was in Laval, just north of Montreal, to celebrate a work anniversary with friends and family on September 1st, when the incident began and with a couple of Laval police officers, who is black, says that he was in his rental car with his cousins when a police cruiser black people can't read.
Can I read?
Okay, let me see you better.
No, look.
Let me see you better. Go.
Okay. This is a very serious topic, by the way.
I know. Stop making me
The
laugh.
cruiser kept driving as Omar and his passengers made their way towards the lounge. They were about 6 meters from the vehicle when the cruiser spun around and came back in their direction, according to Omar. They drove onto the curb and...
Oh my god.
Where'd she stop?
Pushed to my shoulder and my chest, and I was confused, he explained. I said, "Don't touch me," punched me in my groin area about 3 times directly. They pepper sprayed me, he said. They're beating me up for about 10 to 15 minutes, but the first 2 officers initially that were there were beating me up for 5-6 minutes, and then their backup arrived. The incident was caught on camera by his cousin and by others who arrived at the scene. You would think that when more police officers came into the scene, the situation would die down and it went way worse, Omar said. These guys put a spit bag over my head. They sprayed it inside and they started suffocating me. Putting it...
Oh my God.
And I'm constantly saying, "I can't breathe, guys." In the video, more than a dozen officers arrived at the scene, which was around when Omar said he felt his life flash before his eyes. I actually thought I was going to die, and I was so helpless, he said. After the incident came to an end, Omar was taken to hospital by paramedics for treatment. He was also given a pair of tickets by police for not presenting his driver's license, insurance, or ownership. In a statement issued to Global News on Tuesday, Laval police said that the officers were patrolling in the area when they saw the vehicle, and the officers intercepted it to check the driver's ability to operate the vehicle. The individual who was intercepted refused to cooperate of force. On Wednesday morning, a spokesperson told Global News that the officers involved would not face any suspension in connection with the incident. After analysis, the police officers acted in compliance with the formative teachings. The officers are not suspended, the spokesperson said. I reiterate that a graduation... Wait. I reiterate that a gradation?
Let me see.
I think this is more of just a test of our English knowledge, or if we can even read.
I've never heard that word.
Let me see it.
Gradation?
A gradation of the use of force.
Basically, they were trying to say
trying
it was
to grade
justified.
the use of force.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's what it is.
Basically, they were trying to justify the use of force.
Yeah, I think everybody gets the story.
Yeah.
This is a classic
That's
case
crazy.
Have you seen
of
the
police
video?
brutality. I saw the video where they had him on his back, and I didn't know how far it would go. So I just didn't watch the whole thing. I was
I saw it on a few people's story, and I was like, where is this? And then I saw that it was happening in Quebec, and I'm like, oh wait, what? So I actually sat there and I watched it, and it was so and then when I realized that he was also Somali, I was like, oh my God, not our own people.
That's
but it doesn't matter who it is.
I know it doesn't matter who it is, but it was just I didn't think that happened. I've never seen it that here.
Wasn't there a case recently in Toronto? I don't know, maybe it was this year or last year, where there was a person who was known to be mentally ill.
Oh yeah.
And the police officers, or not police, the family actually called the police because they're they're going through an episode. So they're like, can you come and at least call the mental health police or something like that to help them get out of the house? And they ended up actually killing that person.
Yeah.
Oh, that was here?
Yeah, that was
Wasn't
here
he
too.
Somali as well?
No, I think they were East Asian.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, or not East Asian, South Asian. But that's also a case where police just it's basic at this point.
Police don't know how to de-escalate.
Yeah,
situations.
they don't know how to de-escalate.
Yeah.
They only know how to escalate a situation, right?
But I also feel and maybe they already do this, but it needs to be reinforced, but a strong psych evaluation, because I feel some of these police officers have some sort of power complex, maybe.
For sure, they were bullied growing up, or feel like narcissists.
I feel police officers.
I don't think it's that deep.
No. They
I think
although you need the ability to be stern and really just lay down the law if you need to. I think they also need that nurturing, compassionate side, because essentially your job is to serve and protect, as it says on your uniforms, on your cars.
Yeah.
And if people fear you, then who are you protecting?
But I think that goes back to, there's many reasons for why these people are still allowed to have jobs. Is because, like, first off is like, who is gonna apply to become an officer at that point? Like, if your quality control is that thorough, like, your pool is gonna be a lot smaller, which might actually be a positive thing for a lot of people, because people say there are actually too many police, but then I don't know what's the relation, like the amount of police on the street and the amount of crime that's happening. There are people who are trying to make that connection as well, or because, like, there are things that, like, are necessarily, like, there's a case of, like, over policing, where like the reason that the crime numbers seem so high is because the police are over policing, and they're arresting people for, like, miscellaneous and, like, small reasons that make no sense just because they're on a power trip at the time, right?
Yeah.
So there's also the fact that, like, in Canada, I believe you have to have a degree, or is like you have to actually go to school to become an officer. It's not like in America, which is why maybe it's not as severe as it is in America, because over here you have to have, I think, either university degree or a college degree, or you have to go through some type of degree course to become an officer.
Yeah, it might be college, but also, like,
but that also goes back to the point that I was trying to make, was like, I don't think it's that deep in that, where these people have that narcissistic tendency inside of them. I think it's more of just, like, when you give someone uncontrolled or unfettered power. Is that how they say it? There's another word there that I don't know if I'm using correctly, but I'm probably am, because I usually am right. But
that's so unnecessary.
Just make your damn point, okay?
I'm playing. But when you give people any sense of power or control, like, where it almost can't be checked, eventually that person, no matter how good they are, they tend to push the limits of that.
That's true.
Hence,
they can,
like, annual psych
almost feel
evaluation.
intoxicated by that power.
Yeah. Isn't that, there was, like, a study done on kids that was similar to that. It's like half of you guys will be the cops, the other half will be, like, civilians or something
the college
else.
students.
Yeah.
I forget what the name of it is.
The Stanford one?
It was, I forget exactly what it was, but it proved that, like...
Yeah, like, these guys were friends in that study. Like, these guys were friends. They knew each other. They're all colleagues in the same grade, same school. But once half of them were given power and the other ones were made to be not civilians, but, like, prisoners, like, there's something clicked or something shifted in their mindset. And over time, they started finding that they were, like, torturing these people and, like, treating them poorly, almost, like, bringing them to the verge of death. So there's, that's why I don't think that of course there are those people inside the force that are like that do have those tendencies, but I don't think that's the main reason why. Because there are how many cops there that pulled up, right? Are you saying that every single cop that pulled up there had that same issue, mentality, that mindset?
Some
they
of them
see
might
completely
be
different stories, though, when they arrive versus who was actually on scene at the time, When they come, they're just seeing someone who looks like they're
That's
frazzled.
also playing a part into it, right?
Yeah.
Not only the fact that there's someone frazzled, what their skin tone is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If they can't, a lot of times
it's
the reason,
nighttime, like, it's just a lot that will, like, paint a story differently.
Yeah, and then if you wanted to give, not sympathy, but, like, maybe understand some of their perspective. Maybe this cop came from, like, a double murder. It's a crime scene, right? Or he came from, like, a high stakes break-in, like, where not break-in, but, like, a domestic abuse case where, like, they had to, like, physically restrain someone, right? They're already, like, heightened. Their adrenaline's already high, and then they find themselves in this case. I don't want to make any excuses for them, but, like, these are the different cases that you're dealing with, and
but you know how, like, technically in North America the justice system always says you're innocent until proven guilty. I feel like with police, their mentality is, now you're guilty until we see otherwise.
Exactly.
Like, they always show up with their defenses already up.
Exactly.
They give you attitude, and, like
they just saw a car full of black people.
And, like, it wasn't like he according to the story, the news report, like, the main guy was saying that they approached the car and then told him get back in the car. Like, there wasn't, like, a hi, let's see your license and registration. It wasn't like a cordial exchange. It was just, like, immediately defensive, aggressive. And, like, sometimes, like, you'll even hear, like, in Toronto, no matter how multicultural we are, if you get stopped by the police, sometimes they have that, like, stank attitude for no reason, and you're like, dude, just give me, if you're gonna give me a ticket for whatever it is, just give it to me. You don't have to, like, be unnecessarily, like, rude or just disrespectful. You know what I mean?
They just play the role a little too hard.
Like, it's
But I always try and wonder, like, how do you get past that? Like, this person, okay, the police, they do have like a very high stakes job. Like, there is still a danger to the job because at the end of the day, they don't know who they're dealing with, right? They could be dealing with a person like you, who's like the most innocent person, you know, like not going to do anything, not going to act up or anything like that. But they don't know that because they've never met you. And there could be someone who looks exactly like you, but is like, I don't know, hiding a knife under their pocket or their pants or whatever, and is ready to attack anyone who tries to give them some type of pushback.
Yeah, which is why I was saying, like, yes, they have to have that ability to be like stern and like not a poker face, but like, you know, basically be able to protect if they need to.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's like zero compassion, zero empathy,
Yeah,
like you're just like stone cold, you're immediately defensive, you're immediately like disrespectful, then like how are you actually protecting us?
exactly. Yeah,
You know,
it's all about learning de-escalation techniques, but I think that a lot of their
Yeah.
training teaches them
escalation.
not escalation, but what to do in a high stakes situation. But if
Yeah.
you're only taught how to react in a high stakes situation and not how to de-escalate things, then you're always going to react like it's a high stakes situation,
Yeah.
even though it could be a simple like, I don't want to do what you want to, like what you're telling me to do. Then like their pride gets in, and they immediately think, oh, the worst case scenario, just like
Detain them
detain
tase
them in the most
whatever.
efficient,
Like inhumane.
not efficient, but like fastest way you can. And the fastest way they think they can detain someone is by throwing into the floor and like breaking their arms
Yeah.
to get it
Crazy.
behind them.
Yeah.
But
So-
like beating up for 15 minutes is crazy.
Mhm.
That's like
But
unnecessary.
even like suffocating him with the bag,
yeah,
like
why is there a bag over his head?
Mhm.
that's crazy.
Like what?
That's
Yeah.
actually insane.
That
And
just and I mean it's important to know that this is also in Quebec, and Quebec is like known for being racist.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's multiple layers,
Mhm.
but inshallah, you know, Omar is okay.
Yeah,
and
he had an
hopefully-
interview. He did the interview
Oh, he.
afterwards. so
Yeah.
he
Oh,
was
okay,
fine,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I think he's back now.
Okay, that's
Like
good.
in Toronto.
That's good.
But it was
But-
still like, it's not something we are surprised by.
Yeah, that's
it's-
unfortunate.
the only thing that's maybe surprising about it is the fact that it happened in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have, of course, it doesn't happen as much. Maybe because it's not filmed as much here. I don't know why we don't see it as much. But
well,
it's
there's less of
still-
a population in Canada.
Oh yeah, that too.
So
That
just
too.
by-
Just population wise, it's a
Yeah.
numbers game, right?
Mhm.
So that's why it's surprising when we see it here. But I think it happens more often than we think it does. It's just that
Yeah.
it's not
Possibly.
filmed as much here, or like maybe like the numbers situation is just not that many people to have it happen as often. But
yeah.
if you scale it, maybe it does happen just as much as it happens in America.
Mhm.
Maybe it's just not as publicized, right? Like I also feel like
Actually,
American news is like, I don't know. I feel differently about American news versus Canadian news, but
yeah, like one thing actually I forgot to mention is that yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw it, but we were at the community center in Musalla, and right outside of it, we saw some cops like stopping like this really tall black man, right? First, it was one cop car. He was blocking his car. It was in the parking lot though. He was already parked. It was
Thinking
one
of it.
cop at first,
yeah,
and he was standing out there, and he seemed like he was talking to them. And then I saw another police car pull up. It's like two more cops pull out of that one, and I saw another one pull up. Literally within 10 minutes, there were 12 cops
What?
surrounding
Why?
this thing. Yeah.
No, they're
Why?
bored at this
There were
point.
a lot.
They're bored.
They surrounded this vehicle, and then I saw as things were going on. Thankfully, nothing seemed to escalate, but they started like searching the car. The thing is, I don't have context of what was happening here. It could be an
Yeah.
actual case. I could see at one point that like the officer was checking. It looked like he was checking the VIN number on the car because he was checking the front of the windshield area. So maybe it was reported stolen or something. But yeah, like just that situation itself, you can see within a second how that could within a
Yeah.
second, right?
yeah.
So, yeah, these things do happen out here. There's probably not reported. Like, I could have been that guy. I could have been the one I literally was telling him, I was like, should I just go across and start being that guy who just films it to see what goes on? But thankfully, nothing happened. So we kind of just let it be.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's situations like this always happening. It's just a matter of, reporting on it.
Like, I'm just thinking, because you guys remember when we were in Portugal and then we got pulled over that one time?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And obviously, like, we're 3 black people in Portugal in the
Mhm.
middle of the night. It's like 3 a.m. or something
Mhm.
crazy like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I was like scared shitless. I was
Mhm.
actually like, oh my God, we're going to get arrested. Like,
Yeah.
I was actually scared. And then having my cousin Iman, who was just like, go get them in. She was like screaming and I'm like, stop. Like, is she okay?
What was that? I think she's good. Yeah.
Okay. But like, like I genuinely didn't know what was going to happen.
Mhm.
And I was thinking like worst case scenario, like, okay, who are we going to call? Like, what do we do? How are we going to get out of this mess?
Oh, sorry, you can hear that.
Yeah.
My bad.
And so like I can only imagine like I feel like Americans have it ingrained in terms of like if they were to get pulled over, how to act. We just like all I said to the girls was when the cops pulled us over, I was like, guys, just like stay calm and we're just gonna explain what happened. And I felt so bad. Nabat just like immediately started saying like, I'm sorry. And the cop was trying to say was like, what language do you guys speak? And we're like, English. Do you speak English? And he's like, yes. So we explained to him. She's like, look, we're not from here. I was just trying to turn, and then I didn't see the guy getting off of the highway, and then I almost hit him. And then he was like yelling at us in Portuguese, but we don't understand Portuguese. And he's like, oh, and he's like, honestly, he was saying you guys were drunk, but he's like, looking at you now, I don't think you drink, which like educated king, we love to see it, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, no, like we don't drink. He's like, okay. He's like, I don't think you guys are intoxicated at all. Don't worry about it. I think it was a misunderstanding. Just be safe. He's like, do you want us to like escort you? Do you know your way? And we're like, oh, we have GPS. We were just service issues. He's like, okay, have a good night. Like that's respectful. I feel like if I was in like Alabama and I got pulled over, y'all would never see me again.
Oh yeah. There are stories like that for sure here.
In the States.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because also there's that, talking about is not real Palestine. Police forces in America. Guess who they're trained by?
That's true.
Are they?
Yeah. They're trained by the IDF.
I didn't know that.
So that's the reason that's why a lot of their tactics seem very similar. The specifically even the George Floyd situation.
Yeah.
That technique of putting the knee on the neck is taught by the IDF.
What?
So a lot of these like very
I didn't know that.
Yeah, these like very like physical or what do you call them? Aggressive tactics are taught by them, which is why you see a lot of similarities between how they treat citizens. It's crazy. But it's all connected, man. One good news to mention here is I heard that the is not real economy might not be what it is anymore and might actually be not be here in a couple years, or at least it might not be. It definitely isn't what it used to be.
Like businesses dropping.
Businesses dropping out. I think they lost. I need to pull up the actual full numbers, but I can't. I wish I had that. I wish I noted down. Also, my phone's over there, but they lost like 40,000 businesses, or like thousands of businesses have left or shut down. Yeah,
well, because it's an unstable like political situation. So business wise, it's like it doesn't make sense to even take that risk that something will happen.
Actually,
might as well just pull out.
Companies not saying that like that risk doesn't make sense anymore. Intel, they recently lost like a $5 billion investment.
I thought it was more than that.
It was a lot.
Yeah,
maybe even more than that. But they lost because Intel had a huge plant, and that just almost not destroyed, but
that's a huge chunk
of their economy, right?
Yeah.
It also says one thing that like there's a lot of people who are leaving, and the fact that these people even have a place to go to or a place to leave to, a high percentage of their population has a place to go back to, already shows you like how, first off, how little they really cared for the land, and really they just cared more for like the opportunity of having a place that they could go to for free and like have all these benefits to go there.
Yeah,
but I think a lot of those that lived there or that moved there, that settled there, whatever you want to, whatever term you want to use,
illegally.
I don't think they all represent the same ideologies of the IDF. I think they definitely were reaping the benefits of maybe being of Israeli descent.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they were really understanding the impacts that them illegally settling in that land, the impacts it had on the Palestinian people.
Well, I think majority do.
Yeah, I think a majority do.
But I also think that there's some people who are waking up like, ooh, like I actually didn't.
And there are videos of like teenagers who have refused to, because going into the Israeli is not real army is actually, I think it's mandatory.
Yeah.
Right?
Mandatory.
And there are teenagers who are willing to go to jail to not partake in that.
Yeah.
Right? So there are people there who are waking up, and a lot of people have woken up to that situation even in that country.
Yeah.
But
because I thought like, part of the Israeli population, and not majority, but like there is a group that at least want to be able to coexist, as they say, with the Palestinian people without the conflict. Like I don't think they all want it to be what it is right now.
Yeah.
There's for sure an amount that is.
There is probably just not a lot though, honestly. I
Yeah.
think there's just a lot
Well,
of propaganda that
majority-
like, they learned growing up that
Yeah.
they just can't see the other side. Really.
A majority of the people who do know what they are doing to the Palestinian people are the ones who are going into the settler colonies, the ones that are outside of the, I guess, like the borders that they set down for is not real. Like in the West Bank, like those people, they know what they're doing. And there's like that classic video of that like American guy who has a New Jersey accent.
The Brooklyn guy.
that
Yeah, the Brooklyn guy who's literally like there as they're kicking the family out. And he's like, if I don't steal it, someone else will.
Yeah. I know.
They know, and that's the mentality of a lot of these settlers, right?
Yeah.
Which is why it's hard to show sympathy towards them versus like the people who may have been born in is not real in the, like the mainland part, right? So there are definitely those who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But it did, give me a little bit of joy to see that the boycotts and just the optics of the whole situation have had a huge impact on their economy. And
of course it would. There are billions of Muslims. If technically if like, and it's not just a Muslim issue, right? Like, of course, this is like a humanity issue. We've already made that clear in past episodes.
Yeah.
But if those that really know the truth and understand how wrong this is truly banded together and like pushed aside all the like smaller details within the politics, look at the impacts of like Starbucks and McDonald's and some of the other bigger corporations that have been like so severely impacted by the boycott. Like it works.
Yeah. So inshallah, I have even more. I'm more assured now that we will see a free Palestine within our lifetime.
Inshallah.
Just from because at the end of the day, like we mentioned before, follow the money.
Yeah.
If there's no money in something, they're less likely to fight harder for it, right? So we may not, we as a people who are supporting the Palestinian people may not see it the way that we thought it would be where it's like a complete ceasefire, borders being broken down and all that. But the fact that the economy is going down will at least...
That's the first step.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It'll be some semblance of that.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm looking forward to seeing. But yeah, do you guys have anything else to say before we end off here? No. Okay. Oh yeah, go out and go online, check out Aisha's Amicole.
Buy the lip oil
Happy
from Sephora or
peaches colored.
Peachy nude.
Peachy nude.
It's called Happy.
lip
called
oil. Lip oil.
There you go.
And yeah, go ahead and support her on that. And also, if you liked our video or liked our podcast,
I noticed you guys are inching closer to 10K.
I know.
We're getting there. Oh yeah, the response to the last video was huge.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
like really just showed up and showed out for Hanan, and
yeah, she
It was a
definitely
good
loved it.
episode.
yeah, I really enjoyed recording that, and I think she did too.
Yeah,
and
that
I
was
think
a great episode.
a lot of you guys shared your thoughts on like the conversation around premarital counseling. Some people
There are a lot of people who didn't know about it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so Hanan shared the link that you guys used to find the
check that on the link from the
workbook and
last
stuff.
episode too. If you're looking into that, or just something to have in your back pocket when that time does come. But for any future episodes where we continuing to talk about topics like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our pages, Instagram, TikTok, Cousin Connection Pod.
Yes, because we also have some exciting things coming up.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to hear about it first, make sure you follow us on Instagram.
Actually coming in like the next couple months.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
definitely
like
see.
we're not lying this time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in the works already.
And we might be able to do another official Cousin Connection podcast
yeah.
very soon. I might be able to get these guys out to finally visit me again. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long
Even
time.
though
2
like
years.
that LA trip is always going to be like top.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
That was
I
my
know.
favorite
That
trip.
was very fun.
Yeah.
We'll try to
We'll
double
have a
back
plus
on
one
it.
this time.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Exactly.
can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, yeah. Again, make sure to subscribe. Follow us on all platforms, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.